I taught tosses and toss variations at September Wildfire. We went over a couple of exercises, all revolving around poi tosses. And the first exercise we went through was a very simple passing back and forth between the hands exercise. And it looks like this. The design behind this exercise was to give you a little more control over the momentum and the release of the poi. Then afterwards, we got a little more complicated. So the normal pattern. Then, when we were ready, we moved from here to switch. And this exercise was a precursor for the next exercise, which was adding in a toss. And then we went over before that how to perform a toss, such that the poi head stays isolated. So as you're coming up, right about here, you start letting go, and as you come up to the crescent of the momentum, you would come up and with your thumb flick downward, and it would look like this. When done correctly, the poi head would isolate, and the handle will rotate once around the head and then land back in your hand. So once we figured out how to get this clean, we moved to the next exercise, which was derived from the first one, and it looks like so. From there, we made it a little more complicated using only one hand so that it would look like this. After drilling this for about 5 minutes, we switched hands. And then from here, we went back to our first dominant hand and made the exercise a little more complicated, involving a behind-the-back toss. We first went over how to do the behind-the-back toss, and first we started off by drilling, holding the poi in static spin behind us. Then when we were ready, we would bring the poi up behind us. Not here, but here, inside the arm. And we would bring it up, like the toss we just learned. Throw, and catch. Not worry about anything else other than the catch. So in real time, it looks like this. Once we were all able to do that, we moved on to the complicated version of this with one hand, which was just going back and forth. Then when ready, bringing behind us, like so. Then, after drilling that for about 10-15 minutes, we moved on to the next hand to do the same thing. From there, we went on to other kinds of isolated tosses, for instance, the horizontal plane toss, which looks like so. Exact same idea as the first exercise and the first kind of toss, except instead of using your thumb to push down, we use these two fingers at the crescent of the momentum to push away and isolate the head, like so. And that was tosses and toss variations.